The specific issues around patients and individuals who are dying with dementia is that there is lots of funding out there. There are lots of charities, there are lots of independent organisations that support people with life-limiting illnesses. They tend to be focused on specific diseases, and dementia often isn't one of them. So funding to support people at home is a major issue. Another issue for people dying with dementia is that the illness trajectory isn't straightforward. So people can be very well and then suddenly less well and struggling more than you would expect quite rapidly, so a quite rapid onset. And for others it's very insidious, and because of the insidious nature of the disease and the difficulty of planning a trajectory of illness, getting the support that's appropriate at the right time in the right place can be very challenging. It's particularly challenging for people who are supported by family who have supported them for a lengthy period of time and suddenly find that that's becoming too difficult. So often people will continue to struggle on and manage the situation without sharing that information with others. There might be embarrassment on behalf of the loved one who's living with dementia. There might be a sort of a protective mechanism that comes into play where they feel that the individual wouldn't want other people involved because they are very private, or the illness is somehow an embarrassment to them. Often I've found that people that I've nursed at home with dementia have been very individual pillars of the community, have been involved in lots of different organisations, have been intelligent and have had a quite high status within the community, and then the embarrassment almost and the difficulty of recognising and acknowledging that the onset of dementia can be difficult for them to cope with and for their loved ones to cope with. So there are two main things going on. It's sharing that information that your loved one is in need of that help with what can be an illness that's difficult for others to understand, and the fact that because of the insidious nature often of the disease, that people don't recognise that they're coming to the end of their ability to manage and support the person independently. Then once you are over that, the next challenge is actually garnering the support of services that are actually going to assist the carers and the loved ones of that individual. What you don't want to do is go in and take over the role. If a carer has been involved with somebody who's now come to end of life, who's been living with dementia for a long time, they have a role, and it's really important to recognise that and to take that into account when you're looking at planning the care of an individual at home. So the challenges are, they're many and varied, but they generally centre around the importance of engaging the carers and the loved ones of the individual to ensure that the care that they receive is very much tailored to not only the needs of the individual living with dementia, but the people who've been loving and caring for that person in the sort of the build-up time to the end-of-life care period.